on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music suit the soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah. Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music suit the soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half.
More variety.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu, returning from the Eid al-Adha. And let me say, Baraka, the Salah and Eid Mubarak to everybody listening. Akosia Ochre has been here, not celebrating any. How are you?
Where's my meat?
It will come. Meat is not good for you. Too much meat is not good for you. And tonight on Eyewitness News,
President Akufo-Addo must not preside over this detestable and dangerous practice, particularly when he assured the nation that his appointees who want to make money through such transactions should rather stay in the private sector.
National Democratic Congress NDC demonstrates against the planned sale of 4 hotels belonging to the state's SNITS, that is State Security and National Insurance Trust, which demonstration is targeting specifically one of the hotels here in Accra. We'll be hearing from the minority and opposition NDC. Also coming up, a strike by medical laboratory scientists forces some hospitals to call off very critical surgeries that were scheduled. And later on Eyewitness News,
a trend is taking place, and the trend is devious. It results in the deaths of people, innocent people, mainly watchmen who are on duty at night.
the Wa Central Member of Parliament was very worried about the recent killing of private security officers in many parts of the country, including Wa, the Upper West Regional Capital. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
mining and quarrying sector pushes Ghana's economy to expand by 4.7% in first quarter of 2024.
That's in 15 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, we are on Adrian Power 100.7 FM in Takwa, We are in Takrady on Sky Power 93.5 and Beach 105.5 FM. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In Ashanti region, we are on Adwenpa 99.9 FM in Nkawie. In Volta region, we are on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohwe and Freedom 88.1 FM in Sogakopa. In the Northern region, we are on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba. In Upper East, we are live on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. We are in the Northeast region on Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalerugo. 97.3 Citi FM. Eyewitness News is also live across the globe on citynewsroom.com. We are on Facebook with Citi FM's handle. We are on YouTube using the Citi FM channel. Do share that particular link and also subscribe to same so you get to follow Eyewitness News anytime we are airborne. You can join the conversation by sending your messages to 0549 986 996. Akosi has our first story.
The conveners of the Hands Off Our Hotels demonstration have submitted their petition to the presidency demanding a halt to the sale of 60% shares to Rock City Group, a company owned by the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Brian Echampong. Or the protest, which lasted over 3 hours, remained peaceful until a confrontation erupted between the police and some protesters who attempted to breach the designated barricade at the termination point. In the petition, convener Samuel Okujetu-Ablakwa urged President Akufo-Addo to stop the sale.
Let's go on the phone line and speak to him. Honorable Samuel Okujetu-Ablakwa is Member of Parliament for North Tongu and a former Deputy Minister in the Eswa Mahama and Mills government. He's joined us on the line. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Omaro.
What would be your own assessment of the exercise you conducted today?
Absolutely successful, beyond expectation, massive, mammoth, a very consequential demonstration. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the thousands of Ghanaians who poured out onto the streets today, sending a very clear message that enough of the state capture. They are appalled by the blatant looting that is going on. And they are saying, hands off our hotels. These are hotels built by our worker contributions. They are hotels that will take care of all of us when we retire. Long-term investments that are doing very well, that will keep us in retirement. And there is absolutely no reason for these hotels to be so. There's no justification whatsoever. Ghanaians are saying, in their numbers, massively, they're saying that if these hotels are good for the Honorable Brian Champong, then they must be good for all of us. If the Labadi Beach Hotel, beachfront, is good for the Blaze Sands, they are equally good for all of us. And instead of these hotels being protected by public officials, and instead of them adding on to them, our whole understanding of public office is that when state assets are placed under your care, the least you can do is to protect them. If you cannot increase their viability, make sure they create more jobs, and even add on. I mean, this discussion should have been that we have inherited 6 Senate hotels. We have added 2, or added 4, or added another 6. Then we will applaud the government. But they are engaged in all kinds of schemes that do not make sense. How is it that Rock City Hotel, which is consistently declaring losses, and we obtained the filings at GRA, massive losses, it is Rock City that is to save these hotels. Labadi Beach Hotel, at the time Rock City was making losses last year, Labadi Beach Hotel posted a profit of 158 million Ghana cedis. As we speak, on a consistent basis, Labadi Beach Hotel has been paying dividends to government. Meanwhile, Rock City, they don't pay anything. They say they are making losses, so they can't even pay taxes. That, the filings are GRA. And suddenly, folks at Rock City, the owner of Rock City, their great minister, the Honorable Champong, has such great hotel management expertise which he can bring to bear to make his own hotel profitable. But suddenly, he can turn around our state hotels and make them profitable. I mean, where is the logic? What do they take us for? In any case, if he has such great hotel management prowess, skills extraordinaire, which we have never seen on the surface of this planet, why is it that sitting at cabinet, he cannot bring that to bear so that it will benefit all of us? Why do we pay people to go to cabinet? So you brainstorm, bring your expertise to bear. Then that expertise, that know-how, that capacity can help all of us. But in this case, the Honorable Brad Champon can only bring that expertise to bear only when he annexes these state assets, he buys these hotels, they become his. It is privately owned before he can bring that expertise to bear. I mean, you wonder what is going on. So I want to salute the thousands of Ghanaians who stood up to be counted. History will forever remember all the Ghanaians who stood up, even those who were with us in spirit because it's a working day and they couldn't get permission to leave their jobs and join us. They know that this is a struggle for all of them, and they are in solidarity with us. So I want to thank particularly the Lawulome. I mean, I've been doing demonstrations for many years. I've never seen a chief participate from the beginning to the end, pouring libations at strategic intervals, asking for ancestors to protect us. Phenomenal chief, phenomenal traditional ruler. And the Lawulome has to be celebrated this evening. TUC, Federation of Labour, the opposition political parties, NDC, PNC, CTP, all of them, the Minority Caucus, the La Traditional Council, the La Youth Association, the United Gadangbe Caucus, all the partners who joined us to send a very loud, unmistakable, unambiguous message to President Akufo-Addo that we would not allow this sale, this conflict of interest sale, this dubious sale to go ahead. I want to salute all of them this evening for making this demonstration a very memorable one.
Interesting. Now, let's talk about the sale itself. Would it have been any different if the buyer was not a minister of state, an MP who is in cabinet? Would it have been any different, considering that SNIT has said these hotels were becoming a problem? The best option available was to let them go.
So fundamentally, we have said, and we reiterated that in our petition, that we are opposed to the sale of these hotels. Yes, of course, a cabinet minister buying it makes it more egregious. But nonetheless, we are saying that these hotels should not be sold in the first place. We are also exposing the false claims that these hotels have become a drain, and that if you look at SNIT's investment portfolio, these are drain, they've become massive drain to SNIT's investments. We have disputed that. Documents available to us, financial statements from Deloitte and Touche, reveal that Labadi Beach Hotel is so profitable. Ridge Royal is profitable. And indeed, we spent over 70 million over the last few years renovating Ridge Royal. If you knew you were going to sell Ridge Royal, why did you take our workers' money, spend so much of it, spruced Ridge Royal up, renovated it, made it state-of-the-art, only to be giving it away for a song? I have the valuation report. These 4 hotels, the fair market value is $121 million. The Honorable Brad Champo has offered $61 million. And from the internal memos I've intercepted, he was going to pay over a 3-year period. A nice sweetheart deal, work and pay arrangement. Labadi Beach Hotel alone could have just paid for all these other hotels. I mean, what do they take us for? So if you look at SNIT's investment portfolios, according to SIGA, the State Interest and Governance Authority, SNIT's worst performing investment is STC. STC is making losses consistently, an average of 32 million Ghana cedis. SIGA report, not me saying, figure. Last year, STC posted losses of 54 million Ghana cedis. Can you believe that? And yet, nobody is interested in saving STC. None of these cabinet ministers who want to buy these hotels have offered to buy STC because they see how horrible and how it will be such an unwise investment. So this should expose that whole claim that what Smith is doing is trying to divest itself of investments that are not profitable. If really that is the motive, that is the policy rationale, they should have started at STC, Nana Komia's STC. But they didn't start there. Nobody is interested in STC. They keep making losses. The losses started around 22 million cedis in 2017, and it's going up 54 million now, an average of 32 million a year. And they are not interested. Nobody wants to buy STC. But they look at the clamor over Labadi Beach Hotel. Already, the Blay sons, Freddie Blay's sons, claim to own the beachfront now. I mean, how on earth can you have a hotel called Labadi Beach Hotel, and yet they don't have a beach? They no longer have a beach. I mean, incredible. So you just see that top politicians have set their eyes on profitable hotels, and they want to take it for themselves. If really they are saviors, they are great business gurus, business tycoons, why are they not interested in saving STC? If there's any SNIT investment which requires urgent salvation, urgent rescue, it's SNIT. But none of them is interested. They've never even discussed how they can, revive STC, turn it around, bring in a strategic investor. But it is these choice hotels, great brands. And you see, in this discussion, nobody's even talking about the iconic brands. I mean, we're talking about foremost hotels, beachfront, where land always appreciates. Can you imagine the value of the land? La Palm, Royal, Elmina, Buzia, Ridge Royal, Labadi. 20 years ago, can you compare the value to what it is today? I mean, so, look, this deal stinks to the high heavens. It should never have been contemplated. That is why, if you read point 14 of our petition, we submitted to the president today, we are calling on him to dismiss all these actors, all those who have brought such national disgrace upon us. His appointees at SNIT, the board should be dissolved. Kofi Osafo-Maafo should be sacked. His agric minister must be sacked. It is the president himself who told us that he will not countenance such attitude. He told us that if you have to make a choice, if you want to do transactions of this nature, stay in the private sector and do your big money transactions. That's where money is made. Don't come and use his office. He himself said it. Don't come and use the position I'll give you for private gain to do business. So where is President Akufo-Addo in this? Does he mean what he says? Does he say what he means?
Oh, no, but I'm just wanted a further clarification. Did you say that the Labadi Beach Hotel does not own a beach? I mean, how long has this been? Has it been always the case from the day we set up this hotel, or it was a new thing that the beach part of the hotel was hived out? I don't get it. Please explain further.
Not at all. Not at all. I was also shocked to the marrow when I discovered it. It's a latest development. So when President Akufo-Addo announced the year of return, a gentleman called Loic DeVos Jr., who is friends with the Blay brothers, Freddie Blay's sons, came up with this idea that Labadi Beach Hotel is an iconic beach hotel. They have a great beachfront. Why don't we go and negotiate with them, sign a joint venture agreement? Then we will do entertainment events. We'll do Polo Beach Club and invite people to come and, watch artists perform, have a good drink, a good meal, and all of that. So they signed a joint venture agreement. At the time, the MD of Labadi Beach Hotel was an expatriate MD. His name is Rene Vincent Ernst. a Dutch. So they signed this joint venture agreement in 2019, August 2019. So it's a recent development, quite recent. Now, to the shock of everybody, the Blade brothers, according to over 800 pages of court documents, decide that they will elbow out their business partner. They will also refuse to pay Labadi Beach Hotel. Then, some way, somehow, suddenly, the board of Labadi Beach Hotel discovers that there's construction going on at their beachfront. Initially, the 2019 agreement, all the patrons, those who attended these Polo Beach Club events at the beach of Labadi Hotel, had to go through the main gate, the reception area of Labadi Beach Hotel, for transparency, so that the gate proceeds will be clear and everybody will know what the sharing formula is. According to the court documents, we now have a situation where the Blade brothers have created a new pathway to the beach, and they are saying that they have met some people in the traditional council. I remember that already some elements within the traditional council, since Freddie Blade tried to explain this away and say that they have now gone to pay for it and they now own the beach. Elements within the traditional council are saying that if we don't know who you dealt with, and then that you shouldn't even have been dealing with the traditional council. They don't own the land. It's a stool. So, to summarize, we now have a situation where the Blade brothers have elbowed out everybody. The Lloyd DeVos Jr. business partner is in court seeking compensation. He wants his fair share. He says that he contributed and he has not had any returns. He's very upset, very furious about the treachery, the betrayal he has suffered. Then Labadi Beach Hotel launched an inquiry. They found out that the MD must have colluded with the Blade brothers to make them lose their beachfront. So they dismissed him. As I speak to you, Rene Vincent Ernst is in court demanding compensation that under his agreement, when you dismiss me, I'm entitled to some payment, about 40,000 euros. So he is demanding 40,000 euros, not really demanding a comeback to the job. So, bizarre. So you now have a Labadi Beach Hotel does not have control. And if you talk to insiders, and then they've been talking to me, they say they are helpless because of the people involved. Now it is even affecting guests. Guests come to a beach hotel so they can have a clear beach view. They have lost that. There's also a lot of noise, nuisance, and people come in and they want to check out immediately and they're demanding refund. So it is even a miracle that after they have gone through all of this, they are still posting such impressive profits. So that's what is going on. That is why Ghanaians don't buy this claim that suddenly saviors have arrived in Ghana, local Ghanaian business people, indigenous entrepreneurs who are so great, who love the country so much and want to save our hotels. When they cannot save their own businesses are making losses. We see through the rules. We know what is happening. And that is why we are saying, look, enough is enough. Are you aware, Umaru, that Parks and Gardens, they were at work one day and somebody shows up that he's the new owner. Parks and Gardens. Talk to prison service. They've told them to move near the Osu runabout. It's been given to a private developer. Talk to a lot of directors in the civil service. You get a letter 2 weeks to move. Go and look for a place to rent, 1 year rent. They don't care where, whether it's Dominica, Binyaka, or wherever. We will pay you. The place has been given to a private developer. What's going on? It's as if some marauding invaders have just descended upon us. No due process. Is just a certain plutocratic posture. And we are saying, look, we've just had it. Enough is enough. The state capture cannot continue.
Honorable, finally, how popular is this your position of state actors not buying state property? I recall covering the eviction of Honorable Edwin Neil Antivandapoy and his family from a home that was purchased by the late J. Kotanka Obechebilamte after the court decided that the property could remain his, and the state had to then remove Honorable Nilante Van Dapper, who was occupying it at the time. You lost that case when you took it to court. Are you sure that when it comes to it, and this one has to go to court, you are going to be victorious in your quest to have this hotel not sold? I mean, estate property not sold to a state actor, looking at the history and the precedent?
You are right. That's 16 years ago. When I took a principal position, I went to the Supreme Court that the Honorable Jacob Echevilante should not purchase his bungalow. I argued that if every Minister of State since Nkrumah's era was allowed to buy their bungalows, none would have been left for the Honorable Jacob Echevilante to occupy. Unfortunately, I lost in a 6-3 decision. Quite a very interesting judgment. But if you read the dissenting judgment, Sophia Akufu, her leadership as she became later a Chief Justice, she said that her colleagues are missing an opportunity and that they should really look at the national picture, the national interest. And she has been vindicated. That was the Supreme Court's golden opportunity at the time. I don't think that we'll have had this Champon situation if the 3 dissenting Supreme Court judges had been listened to. But it always happens where sometimes the dissenters, the minority decision, rather, is vindicated over time. Now, fortunately, in this current case, I am not looking at the courts. I'm not looking at going to the courts. I have filed a petition at Shraj under Article 287, conflict of interest scenarios are properly dealt with by Shraj. That is the jurisdiction. So I'm hoping that Shraj will save us in this matter. I am also hoping that the private members bill that I'm sponsoring, and I want to salute Professor Kweku Azar and the team of lawyers who are helping us put the draft together. We are hoping that we will be able to clearly, because we've noticed that there are loopholes, there are gray areas, and some politicians are taking advantage of this situation. We are saying that let us now have a clear piece of legislation which will ban politicians, politically exposed persons, including spouses, children, close associates, from purchasing state assets. I bet you more than 80% of these one-ton sales will stop when the politicians know that they cannot benefit in any way, directly or indirectly. So I am hoping that we will get across-the-board support. And if you read point 15 of the petition we presented to the president today, we are asking the president to commit that he will not act like he acted in the LGBTQ matter, where he wrote a cease and desist, very, very condescending letter to Parliament and said that we shouldn't come and bother him with that piece of legislation. We have asked that he should not repeat that conduct, and he should commit that he will support our initiative and assent to that piece of legislation when it goes through the House and it is presented to him. So these are some of the measures we are contemplating, far-reaching, and we want it to be clear that we are not fighting Brian Champon today because he's Brian Champon, he doesn't belong to our political party. It's a principled position. And we are not saying don't sell it to him so that we will come to power and have it for ourselves. Not at all. We are saying that, look, these actions, these are the things that give politicians such a bad name, and people think that we are not really interested in creating opportunities for the next generation, the children who are coming up and those who are yet to be born, because we should be expanding state assets when they are put under our care. I mean, think about it. Suddenly, these assets are giving all kinds of negative propaganda. They are not good. It's not great. It is not worth it. It's a drain on our books. And yet, the people who tell us this, see the extent they will go. How many weeks have we been talking about this matter? And yet, I mean, the deal is too good. It's too juicy. They don't want to back out. They just don't want to back out because it's so good a deal. They were hoping that they would not even be found out, that it would not be exposed. So that should tell you that all these claims that, oh, we are just doing you guys a favor, we have just come to save your assets, which are not performing, is all hogwash. That's what it is.
How was the conduct of the demonstration itself? We are seeing reports that some of the demonstrators were taken to the hospital. What happened?
Yes, I must say that the Ghana Police Service demonstrated bad faith. When we met, our final meeting on the 12th of June, the decision was that the demonstration would terminate in front of the Christ the King parish. That's what we have always known, and that's what we announced to the demonstrators when we were taking off in front of Labadi Beach Hotel. When we had our pre-walk meeting, the pre-march meeting with the police hierarchy this morning, that was the understanding. We are terminating our Christ the King parish, only to be taken by surprise. Way before Christ the King parish, they mounted barricades, took us by surprise. And then upon approaching, some over exuberant police officer, a number of them decided to spray pepper and tear gas. So a number of people collapsed, were affected. Fortunately, we had been proactive to invite the Ghana Ambulance Service to join us in this protest. And they came in handy by offering first aid, and they had to then take the others to hospital. But the indications have been in touch with them. I've gone to see them. They are fine now. I think just a few red eyes. I mean, this could really have been prevented if the Ghana Police Service had just stuck to the agreement, Christ the King parish, and then this unprovoked pepper spray, tear gas, really totally needless. And I don't know what that was all about. So we have served notice that when we return to Parliament, they should expect an invitation from us. We will want to understand exactly what triggered that, why they did that, why they did not accede to the agreement, and why they are engaged in that needless provocation. So it's a matter we will look into further.
But we're told that some of the demonstrators pelted stones at the police. That could have caused the action on them, because if they assaulted the police had to, find a way of quelling that group of demonstrators who were attacking them.
Where did those stones come from? I mean, it is not possible. There were no stones where we were marching. These are protesters who had comported themselves throughout. I mean, look at how long the walk was from Labadi, La Palm, all the way Elwak, Cantonments. I mean, everybody was well behaved. I mean, I didn't see any stone throwing. I mean, where did those stones come from? So this is a stone throwing that made them change the agreement and bring barricades far away from the Christ the King parish. And you see, this business of citizens cannot go near their seat of government. I mean, are we really a democracy? The White House, on a daily basis, people are demonstrating right in front of the White House, the United States of America, daily basis. I've joined some of those protests before. Anti-war protests, you have protests against abortion, all kinds of issues. Number 10, same. So was this business suddenly, citizens can't go anywhere near the seat of government, and they keep pushing further and further. We are lucky that this time there was no injunction. You just wonder what's going on. What really are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? What are they doing that makes them fear the citizenry? I think the leadership should reflect on some of these things deeply.
Thank you for speaking to us. And is there going to be another demonstration, or you're going to wait for a response from the president who received your petition today?
We will wait for a response in a few days. We are receiving calls from the central region. There's very high appetite for a second demonstration because they have two hotels affected, Elmina and Ridge Royal. And the Dinner Traditional Council has already written protesting against the sale of Elmina. The Omani himself signed that letter. So let's see how it goes. If the president does not act, if they don't back out of this transaction, it's very likely that the central region will be our next demonstration stop.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. That's Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa. He is NDC Member of Parliament for North Tongue and the convener of the Hands of Our Hotels demo. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We return with more. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Do you have a game-changing and innovative business idea or project that can impact the society? This is your moment. Total Energies presents the 4th edition of the Startup of the Year Challenge. This year, we are looking for 3 winners. The best entrepreneur, also called the InnovUp winner. The best project or innovative business idea that exemplifies the principle of recycling and minimizing waste, also called the Cycle Up winner. And the best project that promotes or relates to sustainable and affordable energies, also called the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply at www.startupper.totalenergies.com for a chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
Walambo! Walambo! I asked him to buy me original politics.
Hey, please don't make mistake. Talk to Papa. Open your back, come on. And you politics no girl. Papa.
Papa, can ruffle.
The politics is original, the first and the best.
What is? Who got also to the acrobat to use me?
Politics, yes.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Shout! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
One of the best decisions you could possibly make at the start of your day is to tune in to the Citi Breakfast Show. Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The Citi Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the Citi Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The Citi Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is the trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street in Osu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Now, management at the Menchia Government Hospital has suspended planned surgeries, and the facility's theatre has also been shut down following the strike by the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union. Sources at the facility have indicated that only emergency surgery cases will be attended to. Meanwhile, patients visiting the hospital for lab services have been left stranded as red bands and notices of strike have been placed at the laboratories. Frustrated and worried about the implications of this development on their health, patients are appealing for swift intervention.
I came here last Monday to take a lab, and so I'm here for my report so that I can take it to the doctor. We haven't met anyone yet, so we don't know what's going on right now. We just came to see the notice there that we are on strike. Well, my situation is quite urgent, so I needed to see the doctor very fast. But since now they are not here and I can't take my report to the doctor, it's going to affect me very much because it will make my medications delay a little bit.
That was a stranded patient at the Menchia Government Hospital.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. So let's see how this is affecting the hospitals and what the government statement through the Ministry of Health means to these workers. Dr. Franklin Amati is the first vice chairman of the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, and good evening to your cherished listeners.
We just brought and played sounds of people who have come to the hospital needing your services, which services are unavailable. How does that make you feel, considering that it is as a result of your absence that people will not be getting the health care that they need? Some may lose their lives.
Well, as a human being, I feel sad because we shouldn't have gotten to this point in the first place. And so, well, the point was made that even me, I am not immune to the excesses of, such industrial action. And so it is extremely sad that we have to get to this point. And it is because duty bearers, time in and time out, has failed to act. And that is why today you have seen the frustration of the medical laboratory professionals that has culminated into what we see on the ground today. And so my apologies to the ordinary Ghanaian who had to bear the grudge of the frustration of our members.
I'm looking at the Ministry of Health statement. It suggests that there's an ongoing negotiation between yourselves and the ministry and government through the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, which negotiation started since 2023. Your strike would amount to bad faith, wouldn't it, if you're trying to negotiate while striking?
Well, I think that you have to put the conversations in perspective. We cannot negotiate forever. Now, bear in mind that conditions of service have a 2-year lifespan. And to put things in proper perspective, our proposal to start negotiation on our qualified conditions of service as medical laboratory professionals started way back in 2022. What it means is that it has been overduly delayed. And for reasons we believe that government on the part of Fair Wages and Salary Commission was playing to a certain delay tactics. Because since we started the process, what has bedeviled the process is that every now and then we need to come into the public space and agitate before we are called to table to negotiation. Now, it got to a point that we were unable to prevail upon our members any longer because there were agitations on the ground and they were very frustrated and desperate. And so we indicated saying to the Ministry of Health that come 17th June, if these issues have not been dealt with, then our members will exhibit their frustration as we see on the ground. Now, this letter was served on the Ministry of Health on the 3rd of June, and they received it on the 4th of June. Now, between 4th and 17th, where we embark on the strike, is roughly 2 weeks. In fact, indeed, it is 2 weeks. Duty bearers failed to act by inviting us to have the necessary conversation, only for us to vent our frustration by taking the action we are taking. And we hear that a letter has been put in the public space appealing to us and misrepresenting some of the facts anyway, just to create a certain disaffection for us in the public space, which is most unfair.
Since the letter came out, has there been any attempt to meet you, or has there been any meeting with you by the Ministry or the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission on this strike of yours?
Now, I think that it is important to put on record that our members are extremely appalled by the action of the Ministry of Health. Reasons are that we wrote to them specifically serving notice of these intentions of our members who are frustrated. And they could have written to us, but what they put out there is a public statement for everybody. And that is where we also took the fee. We feel that it is most unfair and it is treating of an important, significant part of the ministry with disrespect, and it is most unfair.
Yes, but still not clear. Have you had or have you been invited to any meeting by government over the last 24 hours since you started your strike?
I am unaware of any such meeting that has been sanctioned by government at this point.
You've not been invited, you've not been called whatsoever?
We have not been called, we have not been invited to have important meetings to resolve this matter. So
as we speak, your position remains the same. There's nothing that has been done to convince you to the contrary.
As we speak, the frustration of our members remain the same. You see, leaders must get something in hand to be able to convince members that, well, we have something now, and so let us rescind our decision. That has not come yet. If that comes, we will engage our membership.
Is this your strike temporary or it's permanent, at least until a decision is taken?
Well, at the moment, for what I know, our members are venting their frustration and they are not listening to leaders because it has been long overdue, 2 years down the line. Rightfully so, it has been a pent-up feeling, and they are now desperate and venting their desperation and frustration. What we need as leaders to convince them is to get something tangible in hand. So I would wish that duty bearers will quickly rally around and call us to table so that we can iron the issues and so we can go back to work as quickly as possible.
For now, you remain out of the labs.
Well, for now, we are sitting behind the microphones instead of the microscope.
That's painful and shameful, not to you, but to the state. And we pray that you find a solution
soon. Don't forget, we also belong to families. And today I have had calls from every direction, family members wanting the service and they cannot get. And so it's painful. And it is my wish that as quickly as possible these matters are dealt with expeditiously. And that is why you should be asking the Ministry of Health what they were doing 2 weeks down the line when ample notice has been given to them. They sit aloof, treated us with contempt and disrespect, only for us to embark on this action, and they are flying things in the space. It is most disrespectful, and our members are extremely appalled by their action.
Very well. We look forward to a fruitful negotiation and decision between yourselves and the government on the other side. Thank you for speaking to us tonight.
In the interest of the common government, I think that comes quickly.
That's Dr. Franklin Amate. He's the first vice chairman of the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Akosia, you have more stories on strikes, don't you?
Yes, I have. The strike by members of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, has forced the majority of students to leave their campuses as academic activities have come to a halt. All the few students remaining on campus are idling in their halls or engaging in personal activities. At the St. Louis College of Education, the Ashanti region, lecture halls remain empty and the usually bustling campus is deserted. Some students have been expressing how the strike is affecting them.
Since we came, the school reopened, we have not been doing anything because of the strike. The teachers are saying the government is owing them, so they won't teach. So we are pleading to the government to help us, come to our aid, so that we can start learning. Our activities can also be. It's really affecting us because we don't know if the strike will push us back or because maybe our academic calendar will change.
They are just worried and praying that it won't affect our academic calendar and also our studies. Fine, students, we are supposed to learn by ourselves, but there are some things you need the help of our lecturers for them to guide us. In this case, our lecturers are not around. So sometimes you study something and needing the assistance of a lecturer, they are nowhere to be found. So we just be fumbling with ourselves.
We are pleading on the Ghana Education Service to do something about it, the president, to help us so that this strike can be withdrawn so that we can go back to lectures.
So those were some students of St. Louis College of Education in the Ashanti region speaking on the impact of the ongoing CTAG strike. But the president of the Ashanti and Bono regions chapter of CTAG, Paul Mensah, confirmed that his members are fully complying with the strike directive.
So on the whole, the strike is still in force, and then students are around doing their own thing. The teachers are also, some of them come around a while and then go back. So it's still in force. But from leadership, the strike is still ongoing. Nothing new has happened. It is rather National Labour Commission that has called us, invited us for a meeting on Thursday. And so when it is due, we are consulting our lawyers to see what comes out. If the advice is that we go for the meeting, then we go. If the advice is that we stay, then we will stay.
Paul Mensah is the Bono and Ashanti Regional President for the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Akosia Otril. Details of our stories now. Latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service indicates that the cumulative economic growth for the first quarter of 2024 stood at 4.7%. Well, this marks a 1.6 percentage point increase from the 3.1% recorded in the first quarter of 2023. The services sector continues to be the largest sector of the Ghanaian economy in the first quarter of 2024, with a share of 45.6% of GDP at basic prices. Or the GDP share of industry and agriculture were 30.6% and 23.8% respectively. Here's the government statistician, Professor Samuel Kobnaini, with highlights of figures for the 2024 quarter of 2024.
From a real perspective, that is when we've adjusted for the effect of price changes and looking at the actual value of goods and services. The economy in the first 3 months of 2024 was 51 billion Ghana cedis relative to 48.7 billion Ghana cedis that was recorded for the same time period in 2023. This means that from a constant point of view, the economy has grown by about 2.3 billion Ghana cedis, increasing from 48.7 billion Ghana cedis to 51 billion Ghana cedis in 2024. From a growth perspective, given these two values, the economy grew by 4.7% between 2023 and 2024. This indicates a 1.6 percentage point increase in the growth rate in the economy, as the economy between 2022 and 2023 grew by 3.1% relative to 4.7% that the economy grew in the first quarter of 2024.
You hear the voice of government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim. Or the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, is confident that its ongoing legislative reforms will effectively address barriers that hinder foreign investor confidence. GIPC has identified challenges in obtaining necessary documentation from the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority and highlighted inadequate collaboration among government and custom officials as concerns for foreign businesses impacting their operations in the country rise. During his opening remarks at a stakeholder forum on Customs Controls and Regulations, Yawa Martin Free, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of GIPC, emphasized the center's initiatives to address these challenges.
For us as GIPC, we are in a place where, number one, we must reform and are reforming with the current efforts being made to address some of the more dogmatic elements within our current legislation. We are doing so not because it is easy, but we are doing so because it is necessary, especially against the local and global backdrop which is impeding capital from our part of the world. We also understand that GIPC, as the foremost agency leading on the investment and business case for Ghana, must chart the right course. And the right course is by ensuring that we continuously try and remove some of the bottlenecks that impede doing business and also impedes capital to our part of the world. For us, capital formation is important, and it is the private sector that is the engine of growth and is the engine of forming that very needed base for capital deployment in our country.
That was Yawa Martin Free, serving as Deputy CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center. Now, panelists are the third forum of the 2024 City Business Festival on harnessing the creative economy for development and calling on governments to prioritize crafting a robust cultural policy framework that acknowledges the economic and social significance of art and culture. Other panelists explained that the creative economy is critical to economic growth as its significant 3% contribution to global GDP makes it a powerful emerging economic sector that is being strengthened by a surge in digitalization and services. Speaking at the Creative Entrepreneurship Roundtable as part of the 2024 City Business Festival, Acting Deputy CEO of the Creative Arts Agency, Frank Kwabena Osu, called for more partnerships among artists, musicians and other creatives to drive collective progress.
Music alone, globally, the revenue in just music streaming alone, worldwide, is forecasted to reach $33.59 billion in 2024. And the revenue is anticipated to go up its growth rates by 5.02. The growth rate means that the additional, revenue that comes to it year on year is interesting, leading to a projected volume of 29. This is global. Let me come to Africa. In Africa, it's projected to reach $410.7 million. I think we've not even scratched into getting the right structures in place and getting our people to do things the proper way, to tap into the global market and bring in this foreign direct investment that will better the lives of our people.
That was Acting Deputy CEO of the Creative Arts Agency, Frank Kwabena Osu. World-acclaimed producer, writer and film director Danny Dama is pushing for more investment in cultural infrastructure to bolster the creation of jobs.
But movie theaters aren't going anywhere. They're actually expanding. There's actually more and more being built. They've moved from silo type or individual theaters to multiplexes, multiple cinema screens coming in, because you're not going to have the stream of people going to the cinemas, and without that stream of people, you're not going to have people coming to your mall. They will go to like outlets where it's even cheaper to buy whatever they need to buy. So coming back to Ghana, in Ghana, we definitely need cinemas, and we don't need a few cinemas, we need a lot of cinemas. So if you look at what we are all talking about, we're talking about four different, he's talking about music, he's talking about performance, poetry, she's talking about ensemble performance, theater, and I'm talking about film, right? All four of us need some kind of venue to monetize in. The National Theatre should be a prime example of what actually works in Ghana that we should model after. We don't necessarily need to build standalone movie cinemas. We don't need to do that. What we need to do is we need to build more national theatres on a smaller scale.
Voice of Danny Dama, world acclaimed producer, writer, and film director. The City Business Festival 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television in partnership with Absa Bank and is sponsored by MTN Business, Gersal, AMG Fertilizer, Insano Limited, and Agri Impact Limited. Away from that, a currency analyst, Courage Buti, has backed calls for countries within the West African sub-region to channel their energies into enhancing trade rather than introducing a single currency for the continent. Well, this comes after former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta advised West African economies to abandon plans of the ECO. Or the currency was proposed to boost economic development in the West African region and improve cross-border trade. But speaking to City Business News, Courage Buti called on African economies to rather focus on models that will drive growth to the sub-region.
This whole thing about eco that is quite elusive. Why not focus on individual economies and building on, economies of scale and scope and produce what we can produce locally and then enhance trade not only within the West African sub-region but to the African region through Africa and to the globe as well. That's how China is growing. China is not pursuing a common currency. They are pursuing maximizing production from what they can do well. We have to, as a region, look at which model works best for us and pursue that. And if that model is focused on just trade and not think of currency convergence, so be it.
Courage Buti is a currency analyst. Finally, the European Union has raised concerns about potential fraud involving pineapples exported from Ghana to the European market. Well, according to the EU's recent report on agri-food fraud suspicions, pineapples exported to Belgium from Ghana allegedly contain excessive levels of ethylene, a plant growth regulator. Or the following report has more.
Ethylene is used to enhance fruit ripening, coloration, abscission, flower induction, and other growth responses, including increasing yields. EU regulations impose a legal residue limit on imported pineapples, which is set at 2.0 milligrams per kilogram for ethylene. However, the pineapples from Ghana were found to contain 2.4 milligrams per kilogram of ethylene. The EU banned fruit exports from Ghana in 2018 due to quality and standards issues, a restriction that was lifted in 2021. General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Kariwe, urged the government to take swift action to avoid another ban on fruit exports.
Trade must work closely with Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Finance to ensure that the issue is dealt with decisively, because when the ban is effected, it will take some time to be able to see the lifting of it. Of course, it will require certain functionalities to also require that at the end of the day, the European Union will have to send down some teams to investigate and give reports and to clear a country that now they have now complied. There's no more harmful residues in the pineapples. So the earlier we work on this and make sure that the ban does not, the better for all of us.
Edward Kariwe, the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, ending the report filed by Edna Agnes Boache. Well, that's how we wrap up today's edition of the City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Akosi Aoche. Do stay with us. Up next is Point Blank.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Do you have a game-changing and innovative business idea or project that can impact the society? This is your moment. Total Energies presents the 4th edition of the Startup of the Year Challenge. This year, we are looking for 3 winners. The best entrepreneur, also called the InnovUp winner. The best project or innovative business idea that exemplifies the principle of recycling and minimizing waste, also called the CycleUp winner. And the best project that promotes or relates to sustainable and affordable energies, also called the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply at www.startupper.totalenergies.com for a chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
In the deaths of people, innocent people, mainly watchmen who are on duty at night, mainly people who are people who are fathers, who are heads of families, and who are trying to egg out something for their lives. Mr. Speaker, you remember that last year, nearly 9 people were killed in this manner in Wa Central.
There were the Wa Central Member of Parliament, former Minister of State, Honorable Dr. Abdulrashid Pelpo, speaking in Parliament today about something that has become a disturbing trend in the Upper West Regional Capital, Wa. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadou. So we continue with Point Blank tonight by touching base with the Upper West Regional Capital to understand what the state of affairs is. Abdul Latif Mahama is our correspondent in the Upper West region. He's joining me on the line. Latif, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Omaru.
What is this new news that we are hearing of again?
Well, Sanda, good evening to our listeners. This morning, we all woke up to the news that one person was killed at Konta, a suburb of Wa. Now, when we arrived there, right in front of the Wa East District Office of the Ghana Education Service, a 62-year-old man was killed in cold blood. Indeed, he was slaughtered. There was a deep cut on his throat, suspected to have been inflicted on him by his assailant. Now, as the police were called in, people poured in from all parts of Wa to catch a glimpse of the situation. We were all there when news broke that people who went to the Wa Model Junior High School this morning also went to a scene where the security man manning the place was nowhere to be found, but they saw blood stains at where he usually stays. And so they reported to teachers of the school. they took up the matter, went around apparently looking for maybe the whereabouts of the security man, who we are told is also 61 years. They went around and finally they saw a shallow grave where some sticks were kept on top and bent. So they reported the matter to the police, and we all rushed there. The police came in and exhumed that shallow grave. To the surprise of many, it turned out that that was the security man in question. And so this morning, 2 persons have been killed here in the Upper West Regional Capital. The police have conveyed the 2 bodies to the regional hospital morgue, pending autopsy and further investigation. What is quite intriguing, Omaru, is that these 2 killings have some semblance of what we witnessed in 2022 and 2023, where about 11 persons were also killed in similar fashion. So they will kill them, cut open parts of them, and then they will bolt. Up to now, right from 2022, we were told that some 16 people were originally picked up as suspects, but further investigations could not get them convicted of any crime of killing. And so there has not been a single person who is convicted of the killing of those 11 persons. And so when we went there, most residents were of the view that what we witnessed in 2022 and 2023 is rearing its ugly face, to the extent that 2 persons were killed in such a fashion, and there's no traces of the perpetrators who committed the heinous act. So residents are raising concerns that if the perpetrators of the 2022 and 2023 killing were apprehended, probably that would have sent some warning to any person trying to engage in such an act. And so here in Wa, the situation is a bit calm, but people are shocked and afraid of what is happening. Thunder.
So it means that no closure was found to the last year or last 2 years' killings, and no one arrested, nothing whatsoever.
Some 16 persons were picked up, but the court has not convicted anybody of the crime yet.
Are they still standing trial?
Not that I know. We are told that they were released due to lack of evidence that will connect them to the crime. So as we speak, I can say that not a single person has been convicted. Family members of one of those who were killed in the person of Kobna are raising serious concerns, to the extent that if you know where the Wa East District Office of the Ghana Education Service is located, it's very close to the Wa Kumasi Highway, which is a busy road that you have people and vehicles running 24/7. As to what happened and the perpetrators were able to go scot-free, people are still wondering. But it also appeared that the action took place in Wa Model before they proceeded to the Wa East District of the Ghana Education Service, because the 2 of them are not far from each other. So it appears that the same persons who committed the acts at the Wa Model Junior High School and buried the man in a shallow grave were the very persons who committed the act that took the life of Mr. Kobna, the security man in the Wa East District of the Ghana Education Service.
So following this recent one, when you move around town, what is the mood like? What is the reaction of people? And are people suspecting crime as in crime, or they are suspecting some rituality going on?
I've been to some major camps. For instance, I went to a popular camp called Jonjo Camp, and a lot of the guys there I spoke to were of the view that these killings are just a repetition of what happened some 2 years ago, and that they do not suspect crime as in land dispute, chieftaincy dispute, or whatsoever. Their suspicion is that those who killed and harvested parts of their victims some 2 years ago are those who are resurfacing. Sunday, remember, the happenings in 2022 and 2023 took place in almost the same time when the rains were setting in, up to September, where you have wetlands. So they are thinking that, looking at the coincidence, the timing, and the nature of the killing, where one of the victims today was cut open in a way, they are thinking that it is the coming of what we all witnessed some 2 years ago. Indeed, I must add that in the last couple of days, we have witnessed some other issues that led to the killing of persons. One was that of Wild West, but that one was something that had to do with chieftaincy and land dispute, where you had 2 persons killed. We are told that the third person also died at the hospital. And then just yesterday, another land dispute happened at Wa East, where one person was killed. And so people are able to read between the lines, especially when it has to do with land or chieftaincy disputes. But what we witnessed today within the heart of Wa, the Upper West Regional capital, is not having a semblance of either chieftaincy or land dispute. Sanda.
Very well, thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Latif Mahama. He's our correspondent in the Upper West region. Representing the people of Wa Central, former Minister of State, Honorable Abdul Rashid Pelpo, please join us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Omoro.
So our correspondent is just telling us that something that happened a year or two ago in your constituency is repeating itself. What do you know so far as the MP?
Well, what I know is the tragic story about these murderers or serial killers who have gone to add 2 more people to the already situation we had last year, where they killed so many other people, cutting off their throat, cutting off their genitals. And in this particular situation, I know the report says that a tongue was taken off one of them, in another, his eyes were taken. And it does seem to me that this is ritual killing, a situation where people believe that by killing other human beings and taking some parts of their bodies, they will either be strong or they'll be rich in that manner. Well, it still counts to how much backward we are in Africa. That just taking the life of a person and taking a part of his body, you can be rich and you can be strong. And it is saddening as it's so sad, for me to know that these are breadwinners whose only offense is that they have gone to end their living. And then this treacherous person, murderous situation that we have has taken their life.
Now, is this similar to what happened the last time?
It does very similar, very similar. First of all, the target is the same. Watchmen who are alone at night performing their duty have been trapped because they are far off from places where people live. Their shouting and crying cannot be heard. In one particular instance, a big stone was thrown at the head of the watchman or the disease, and then he died or he fainted, and they attacked him, cut off his throat. And in a similar manner, this other person was trapped in a way he couldn't resist. They just killed him. So I think that the police must begin to think through this situation, that these are people who might not necessarily be living in war, and these are people whose beliefs you can easily guess the kind of people they are. It is saddening that the investigation that was started about a year and a half ago suddenly got to an end. No report has been made nobody had been caught. The few who were suspected had been released, and the tension is still on right now. The lives of people are at risk, and the security forces appear not to have answers to it. This is very, very disturbing and terrible.
But the security people made some arrests. The matter leaves their hands as soon as they make the arrest and process the people for court, no?
Yeah, this is subsequent to that. And I'm happy that this is happening, but it shouldn't just be the same kind of thing where the people are arrested and then nothing else is done. And the same people who are arrested, they later find that, oh, these are not the people who have caught it, or at least some interventions have come in and they are released. And everything goes back to normal again. There must be a professional attachment to this investigation. The quality must go high. Somebody has to be seen. Some evidence has to be shown. I know the Ghana police can do it, and it shouldn't just be a 9-day wonder of somebody being arrested and then subsequently released. The investigation should continue into years if they can find it now. And there must be some report to us that something is going on.
Do you think maybe police checkpoints all across town would be helpful? What is the level of police presence in Wa Town?
We have a good number of policemen in Wa, and but I cannot confirm their night operation. Night operation sometimes is non-existent. I have been in Wa often and often, and I scarcely encounter police in the night. And I suspect that the criminals will take advantage of that and do what they are doing. The truth is that what people know police do can be avoided by criminals. So the police have to find a way of tracking them and getting them. And it has to be quickly done, and it has to be done in a much more smarter manner than anybody would imagine. If we depend on just seeing somebody and looking at him and thinking that he could be the person, suspect him and arrest him, that is not sufficient enough. There must be some internal scrutiny of what happened. You must be willing to pay people for getting information to us, and we must be willing to investigate every information to the details, because the situation is scaring people, is putting the town in a very into a situation of fear, and I think that should not be a situation we know in Wa. Wa is a lively place, very peaceful place. Scarcely do we have such a thing happening. My first suspicion is that these are people who are going to learn something somewhere and are coming to implement it in Wa, or people who have had this situation, practiced this situation in some other places and have moved to Wa and want to implement it. So please, I think that the media should help us to reach out to the police, to reach out to the interior minister, to go beyond the normal policing we do. This cannot be acceptable, and we cannot continue to endure this year after year. Lives are lost, and it's becoming normal, a normal situation in our life. It shouldn't be.
Okay. You raised it in Parliament today. What was the purpose, and did you get any solutions?
Essentially, what we did in Parliament today is to draw attention to Parliament and to the people of Ghana, the situation that we have in Wa, and to call on the Interior Minister and the police to do more than they are doing now. It shouldn't be business as usual. We want an expert action on it, and we want to draw the attention of the general public about the operations of these people, and to call on people who may know them to come out and report, because this, you don't know who is going to be who will be tackled the next, who will be the next person to die. If we allow this thing to happen, the security of the whole town, the whole country will be in jeopardy. And so it's important for me that through Parliament I draw attention to it and call on the public and the media and the police themselves to work towards achieving, getting the people and getting them through our legal system and getting some punishment to them, so it could be deterrent to the manner in which they operate in taking lives just because of something we can't understand.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, and we pray that something proper happens, something successful happens. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, Moro. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. That's the Honourable Member of Parliament for Wa Central, Honourable Abdul Rashid Pelpo. So he raised that issue in the House of Parliament today. Were taken and the Speaker made a decision on that. Deputy Speaker Andre Siama was the one in the chair. Isiama Makong raised the issue. Other MPs contributed, including the Bole Bamboy Member of Parliament, Yusuf Suleiman. Let's listen to the Bole MP and the second Deputy Speaker.
I report to you that the people of Bole are living in fears. Between May and June, 3 people lost their lives through serial killing. And this morning, I also read or I watched Metro TV and also heard that 2 people have been murdered in a very similar manner in Wa. The Minister of Interior last week sent some men and women to Bole to help curb this situation. However, I think that much more is needed to be able to avert the situation. Dear Speaker, the murderers are targeting watchmen. And so there's a watchman lying, taking care of whatever he's supposed to take care of, and then a stone or a block is used in hitting his head and killing the person instantly. Within this short period, 3 people have been killed. And even before that, there were serial killings taking different forms. And I think that this is a very important matter, and I want to draw your attention to it so that the Interior Minister can come to this house and brief us and give some hope to those areas that are affected. Last night, for instance, Mr. Speaker, I decided to take a walk in the Bole Township, and by 8:30, almost everybody was asleep, self-imposed curfew. We cannot continue in this manner. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to use this platform to appeal to the Minister of Interior to do more. Let me also add that 3 days ago, the former president, who is in Bole, had to also go to the police office to encourage the policemen and women to do their best. But I interacted with them, and they told me that in 2021, the policemen and women were about 70. Today, the number has reduced to about 50. And many more are still waiting to go because they have received some transfer approvals. Mr. Speaker, we will need the Interior Minister here to brief the House and give some hope to the people. And then we'll also take the opportunity to appeal to him to beef up the numbers for permanent police officers in the area. I am very sure that the Member of Parliament for Wa Central will want to speak, because this morning 2 people have also been murdered.
My inclination is probably to employ the member to have a personal discussion with the minister first. Because at times, some of these things, even though it's security matters, there might be certain information that he can discuss with you before even coming to the chamber. So if you will be with me, I will wish that probably you seek personal discussion with the minister first. If that will not do, then we can invite the minister next week to come. So my ruling is that, honourable member, try and get the minister and speak with him this week. If that is not possible, next week we will invite the minister here to come and brief the House.
Speaker of Parliament Andres Yamamakon speaking in the House today. Earlier you heard the Bole MP, Yusuf Suleiman, and it has to do with the killings in Wa in the Upper West region. 2 security persons or personnel, or what you call watchmen in the local parlance, were killed. And we were told it was for ritual purposes because part of their bodies were taken. Earlier you heard us speak to the MP for the area, Abdul Rashid Pelpo, and our correspondent for the Upper West region, Abdul Latif Muhammad. So wait to see what happens, and if the Minister for the Interior appears before the House next week, we'll update you on the situation there. Stay tuned in to 97.3 Citi FM is relevant radio always. My name is Umaru Sanda Amado. I did this with Akosia Ochi. Production by Kobna Wilson, Beverly London, and Sami Afe. Tonight from Emmanuel Latte, of course supported and guided by Desmond Nyako. The new